So I know I just stopped my stream, but like we went to that buy side and we had that inversion. And now I really just went short there. Here. You can see where I had my one stop out of the day earlier here. I decided to go short because now you have this inversion, a breaker. And we're going to see if it works out quickly. But my first take profit's definitely going to be here. I have a tight stop on it. 16 points. Because this is a low above just midpoint of the range, you know. But, you know, I am taking this on a funded account, sim-funded account from my funded futures. Now here, honestly, I think this is a decent situation because it's a inversion at the high of the range. I'm just going for midpoint of the range for taking most of it off there. I'm just risking very little, but I think this is a better type of trade, and I'm risking 13 micros. I just saw this reaction. You know, I hate that I didn't take this, wasn't on stream. So I think that's a high probability scalp. You have an inversion, a breaker, and my stop is here. I think you can go at least to here. This is where I take off like most of my position. Huge inversion, huge pullback from that buy side liquidity I had marked out from yesterday's lunch high. Saw the inversion breaker. I decided that was actually worth it to take on my sim funded account. You can just check it out right there. My funded futures sim funded account. But it's just because it's extreme of the range. Okay, so take off the rest there. Here. Stop at break even now. I hate that I stopped the stream right here. I was like, all right, bye everyone. But I kept looking and I was like, oh my god. Oh well. I hope other people caught this as well. So back to being up, from down 200 to back up 200 in the day. Definitely want to see if we're just like wicking the midpoint here. I don't want to stick around. I just took this to midpoint. That's where my TP was. Take off the rest here. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, we're wicking the midpoint, but yes, going higher as well. I'll see how long we hang out here. If we hang out here too long, then I'm getting out the rest just to lock in the profit. It's just not. That's ugly. You know? It could come back here and still be valid, but I just really don't want to hold through this. If it does that, then it's going to take such a long time. So I'd rather be part of just a quick distribution. Gotta take the quick move to 50%. Yeah, it's probably not gonna work out. One more minute. We'll see. Unlikely for this to work out now. I'm gonna see how this candle closes. If it doesn't close really weakly, if it just wicks this little volume imbalance, I'm gonna get out of the trade. Yeah, I've seen this too many times before. Right, literally in 10 seconds. No, probably not gonna work out there. I'm probably gonna close the trade for 15 points right now. That's it, closed. No point anymore. Which is around where I took it off, so So you can see today, these are 2 trades I took on my sim funded account from my funded futures. I clearly got out of that trade a little bit prematurely, but my stop would have worked, my trailing stop. Oh, it's okay though. I clearly do not have the patience for this today. So I'd rather just take the money and be small green for the day. So the difference between my 2 trades today, this one, it's just so I'm reviewing, this happened, inversion. I mean, it took this high also, had an inversion. I tried to sell in here, put a tight stop here, got stopped out immediately. Well, I've sized lower because this is in the middle of the range. That fair value gap was in the middle of the range. So it's, or shorting discount. So it's just lower probability and harder to deal with. Versus this one. Versus then I knew this is going to be a seek and destroy day because we're just going back and forth, back and forth. So then didn't do much else on stream except decide to try the fade the chat indicator where I just pulled the chat. Do you guys think buy side will get hit first or sell side? And most people said buy side. I decided to just test out on an eval, and you can see here on this apex eval. On an apex eval, right? And just try to fade the chat, and you can see how difficult the movements were in here. I decided to just cut it because of wasn't reaching it in time. And then decided to just go in for the fun of it. We went lower, didn't really take any profit, and then I just held it. And this really helped me getting stopped out here on an eval. You can see here. I ended up just re-shorting, you can see. That was kind of funny. So I got stopped out here at the high of day. And then just like then I switched to my sim funded accounts and I decided to turn around this eval. It was kind of funny. Getting stopped here at the high of day, saw that it wicked that buy side liquidity I had marked out from the hourly. And then, deciding to take these sells on my funded accounts. You can see then later I was like, actually, this is better for, screw the eval essentially. Go back on my sim funded account. And because we are at the upper end of the range after taking out the buy side, and then we had a strong reaction, a strong inversion. This huge fair value gap, right? It didn't hold. Just completely flushed through it. And then we also had these breakers. So I decided to short here. And honestly, went larger sizing because we were at extremes of the range. So I went with my typical sizing, took some profit here at this low or midpoint of the range. And then, I actually didn't have any more patience for the rest of this. Although it did hit my second target, I just wasn't worth it for me to hold anymore. I just rather lock in some profit for the day. So essentially the best type of trade to do during seek and destroy conditions is really hard. You just mark out the buy side and the sell side and you wait for a trade the extreme of the range, including your entry to be at the extreme of the range. Here, where I entered on this short, it was midpoint of the range, versus here was definitely in the upper quadrant. Just took a scalp down to here. Could have held for more for my second target, ended up not. And that's it. It didn't even wouldn't have stopped me out, so that's okay. It's something to review later on my runners. Still happy enough with how the trade went, and I hope everyone has a good weekend.